Well, a common sight across the Philippines today, severe flooding has just been impacting western Luzon, especially the Manila metro area. Cavite, just towards the southwest of Manila, has declared a state of calamity today. We have seen some reports over 450 millimeters at the airport there that many people travel through every day here. We're actually seeing some reports up to about 300 millimeters in the past 24 hours. Now, these storms continue to cause severe flooding across Manila. It's not quite as bad as Habagat last year. Remember, Haikui that came through, it enhanced that monsoonal flow, but a very similar setup. 3 deaths have been reported at this time. 4 people are still missing, and well, there has been numerous injuries, and let's hope the death toll does not continue to increase, because many people have already been impacted. About 93,000 people, according to the NDRRMC. This is the synoptic setup, though. Tropical Storm Trami, or Maring, towards the northeastern of Luzon at this time. Very similar setup as Haikui. If you remember, that came in from the east here and actually pushed north of the Philippines, but the whole while it was enhancing that monsoonal flow. So we're seeing that similar conditions here, those heavy rains that are continuing to develop in the South China Sea, pushing on shore. And that's why, if we take a look at the current radar coming out of the Philippines, specifically the one out of Subic Bay, which is just towards the northwest of Manila, well, we can just see those heavy showers along the west coast here, and this is why we are seeing this severe flooding out here, because this is what the radar picture has looked like for nearly 3 to 4 days now. These intense heavy rains, 30 to 40 millimeters per hour. Some areas have been seeing that over the duration of 12 to 24 hours, and that's why a few areas have actually reported over 400 millimeters in just a 24-hour span. Just extremely dangerous conditions, and there's still the risk of yet more flooding and even landslides through the coming day as Chemi or Maring continues to enhance that monsoonal flow. All classes into the Manila metro area and actually surrounding areas as well have been suspended for Monday, and now it looks like Tuesday as well, and I wouldn't be surprised if that even continues out through Wednesday as well. Every location here shown is where you have basically all levels of school closed. A lot of governmental services are also closed. I even talked to some of my colleagues down there into Manila today, and a lot of them said they couldn't even get off to the offices because, well, roads are closed. It's fairly impassable as floods just are swamping much of the city at this time. So the big question is, when is this going to end? When are we going to start to see a decrease in the floods out here across western Luzon? Well, unfortunately, our tropical storm is not moving very fast, and it's expected to intensify. Now, right now, it's expected to drift off here towards the north and start to move towards the west along the southern periphery of this high-pressure ridge we've been talking about for days, or actually weeks now. Well, all the while, it's still going to be enhancing that monsoonal flow, but the farther west it gets, I think the farther those heavier rain bands are going to drift off here towards the north, just following around the southern circulation of this storm system. So with that said, I think the heavier rains are going to continue out there until about Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours. Should slowly start to taper off by Thursday after the storm moves there north of Taiwan. It's really going to cut off that moisture inflow from the south. Still, northern portions of Luzon could continue to see the heavy rainfall, but by then, really the Metro Manila area should start to see an increase in the weather out here, as far as a little bit less rainfall. Now, right now, though, intensity of our tropical storm Chemi, winds of 45, gusting up to 65 knots. Japan Meteorological Agency does not expect this to become a typhoon. Basing off of their JMA model, I can see what they are seeing here. Right now, about 985 HPA is the max intensity the storm system is being picked up on by the JMA model. That's for Wednesday early morning, just northeast of Taiwan. So they're expecting a severe tropical storm out of this. Regardless, though, it's still going to be bringing some tropical storm strength winds, in this case, across the southern Japanese islands and even along the southern coast of Okinawa here. Not to mention the fact that there's going to be some very high waves about the same time period, and for much of Tuesday and the Wednesday, up to 4 to 5 meters high, especially, like I said, along the south and eastern coast of Okinawa here. You just have those winds continuing to wrap around, and then those waves are going to start to crash on shore along the northern portions of Taiwan and then along the east coast as that storm just continues to work its way out there towards the west. Needless to say, Miyako-jima and Ishigaki, you're also going to get hit pretty hard by this. Now, that's from the JMA model. What some of the other agencies are picking up on, and what I see as well, is that the GFS and a few other models paint a slightly different story here, intensifying it to a little bit stronger and making it become a weak typhoon. I see that actually happening. There's plenty of moisture available. Obviously, take a look at the Philippines. Sea surface temperatures are into around 31 to 32 degrees here out into the southern Japanese islands in the East China Sea, and plus wind shear is going to be decreasing through the coming days. So let's look ahead here on Tuesday going into Wednesday. We still see that moisture inflow wrapping around the storm system, like I said, even into Manila. By Tuesday night, we still could be seeing these heavy showers, but they're going to start to decrease and lift off towards the north as this storm pulls farther there towards the west. At the same time, though, by Tuesday afternoon and going into the evening hours and by Wednesday, expect widespread rainfall across Okinawa there for you along the east coast of Taiwan as well. I'm actually going to pull this back by Tuesday afternoon. You can see that cloud cover and these showers continuing to wrap around. But then as it pushes off there towards Ishigaki and Miyako-jima, the center of circulation becomes even a little bit more tighter, and then we start to see that intensification. Let's take a look at the winds for this same time frame by Wednesday around noontime. You can see over 50 knots there continuing to push through, and also tropical storm strength extending farther off there towards the north and well down there towards the southwest. And then the storm making a likely landfall there in the northern Taiwan, actually as a typhoon. Taipei, you could see some typhoon strength winds, or at least typhoon strength wind gust. As always with Taiwan, though, when a storm system does make landfall, the threat of flooding and landslides is very high. The mountains out here just squeeze out precipitation. First, when the storm approaches from the west, you can see that rain wrapping around, hitting the northwestern coast, which is going to be a very serious risk of flooding out here. And then it moves out here towards the east, and well, we start to see that rain continuing to wrap around and hit the southern portion. So it's just a very messy situation whenever a typhoon approaches Taiwan, as far as the heavy rainfall and the very serious flooding that accompanies that. But like I said, if you're out here in Okinawa, I know we got a lot of viewers there. This is not the type of storm you really need to worry about. You're probably going to see some tropical storm strength winds. If you go to the beach and you stand at the beach, that's where you're going to be seeing the high waves. So anybody living near coastal areas who feel some effects of this, probably some heavy rain by Tuesday afternoon, going through the day on Wednesdays. Some thunderstorms very well could be popping out of that, but it's not going to be a full-blown typhoon. Somebody asked me, oh, wow, a typhoon's not going to be hitting us here now, and there was never anything put out saying that a typhoon was going to hit the southern Japanese islands, and this one will stay farther down there towards the south. So good news there for you. The main threat out of this really is just going to be that continued heavy rain across the west coast of Luzon through Wednesday, and plus the increasing of the heavy rains there into Taiwan, and some very significant flooding very well is going to be expected there as well. So we're going to continue to watch this storm system. Not to mention, taking a look at JMA's tracks out here, we got a tropical depression north of basically Pawa out here, and not to mention Pawa itself, which is expected to intensify and impact Wake Island through the coming days. About 150 U.S. military live there, and it's all concrete buildings, so nothing to worry about, but something I just want to show you. There's the track pulling up there towards the west. Stays away from all major land masses, and then it's going to eventually lift off towards the north. So that's our fish storm of the day. But as always, thanks for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. Please do go to the website, check out all our features, all our numerous updates posted here. Also, go on our Westpac weather photos, and we have a tool you can use to upload any photos of the flooding in your area if you are being impacted by the floods. So yeah, thanks for everybody that allowed us to use videos in today's updates as well. Links for all of that will be down below. Stay safe out there, everybody.